Hey guys, I'm Papa D, and you found Black Powder Felon. So let's get some cylinders ready for the range. I'm charging each one of the cylinder chambers with 25 grains by weight, regardless of what powder I'm using. I'm going to adjust the volume after the fact of the cylinder with some grits. And we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm using my powder dropper over to the side there and looking for plus or minus 1/10 of a grain off the 25 grain charge. And if it falls within that, I'll take it and it goes in. This lining is pretty consistent. I kind of try to watch and make sure everything is going smooth, check my zero every now and then, and verify that my scale is staying consistent as well. I come back and I put these little card wads on top of the powder charges, and these are just some little cardboard discs that I used a hole punch and got them out of a Coke box. 24 or 12 pack Coke box works fine. I got the punch for these. Actually, I ordered it off of Temu, and it was relatively cheap, and it works really well. After I get them all in, I go and I press them down, make sure they're sitting flat, and you see sometimes they want to turn sideways, so I have to straighten that out, get those back flat like they belong. And then I tamp them down to make sure that they're sitting all the way down on the powder, and the powder is kind of level. That way I can tell if I have visually the same amount in each one. You can see it is. So at this point I'll go in and I'll start weighing out my amount of grits that I need. In this case I needed 7 grains of grits, and the volume of that 7 grains brings it up to the point that I want for a little slight compression whenever I press the round ball into the chambers. And again, I look for plus or minus 1/10 of a grain on this as well. And I really probably should set up something to drop this. This is probably a little more tedious part of the whole thing because I don't have a consistent volume drop weight. But it kind of goes alright. By the time you do 5 cylinders of these things, you're kind of getting tired of it. I guarantee you are. And that's probably one of the reasons I need to correct that. Find some way to drop that charge. And it is something I'm willing to do just because I want every cylinder, regardless of the powder charge that I'm using, well, should I say the weight of powder is always going to be 25 on the scale. So the volume may vary depending on whether I'm using a substitute or varying densities in the powders. And I'm also going to the trouble to make sure that I'm getting that sprue kind of in the up position so that it doesn't end up on the side of the ball. And that could cause some variations in pressures and things like that. I don't think I would get a chain fire with the cardboard wad, the grits, and then after I'm going to grease over the top. But I just want to make sure that it's oriented in a way that it's not going to allow gases to leak by whenever it's fired and going down. I have a hard stop on my press. So my press is set up to just get the ball below the surface with a slight amount of compression. So I try to control the amount of volume in the cylinder chambers, and once that ball drops in, it kind of snaps, and then I bottom out the handle on the stop, and when I'm done, they're all pretty much exactly the same amount of compression on the load, and the ball is on pretty much consistent on the depth just below the surface of the cylinder mouth, so that it doesn't interfere with the rotation whenever I'm firing. And these are 4.54 round balls, and they do shave on all of the cylinders that I have for the testing. You can see it shaves a little ring of lead off, which means I'm getting a decent seal. After I finish with that, I go and verify there's none of them sticking up, and go back and grease around. This little grease gun idea here, I kind of ripped this off from old Ranger. He has a YouTube channel as well, and he shoots off the bench and shows you the accuracy in different types of black powder loads and guns. And the guy's a really good shot from bench rest. So I just try to get everything filled in, and then I take a little paper towel or napkin or something and just turn it upside down and spin it on that just to smooth it down, so it's not too terribly messy, because I'm putting this back in my case. You can see in my case here I've got all 5 cylinders loaded up for all 5 of the barrels. Thanks guys. Papa D.